In October 2024, Hurricane Milton emerged as one of the most devastating storms of the year, wreaking havoc across the Caribbean and the southeastern United States. Rapidly intensifying over warm Atlantic waters, Milton evolved into a powerful Category 4 hurricane, slamming into Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic before making landfall in Florida. The storm unleashed widespread destruction, including severe flooding, powerful winds, and a storm surge that overwhelmed coastal defenses. Communities were left without power, infrastructure was destroyed, and thousands were displaced. The response effort was massive, with emergency responders, volunteers, and aid organizations rallying to provide shelter and supplies. As rebuilding efforts continue, Hurricane Milton serves as a stark reminder of the growing intensity of natural disasters and the resilience of affected communities. Hurricane Milton 2024, a story of power and resilience. Welcome to Cherry on Top. Today, we are diving into the story of one of the most intense storms of recent times, Hurricane Milton 2024. From its rapid intensification to the unprecedented damage it caused, Hurricane Milton has become a stark reminder of the power of nature. How did the storm form? What path did it take? And how did communities respond? Join us as we unravel the timeline, impact, and lessons learned from Hurricane Milton. Act 1. Formation and path. Hurricane Milton formed in the Atlantic Ocean in mid-October 2024, during what had already been an active hurricane season. Milton started as a low-pressure system in the tropical Atlantic, but warm ocean waters and favorable atmospheric conditions allowed it to intensify rapidly. In a matter of days, it grew from a tropical storm to a powerful Category 4 hurricane. As Milton moved closer to the Caribbean, meteorologists warned of its rapid intensification. With wind speeds reaching 150 miles per hour, it posed a significant threat to the Caribbean islands and the southeastern United States. By the time it was approaching land, Milton had become one of the most powerful storms of the season. Act 2. Impact on the Caribbean and U.S. coastline. Hurricane Milton made its first landfall in the Caribbean, devastating parts of Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. Homes were destroyed, power grids were knocked out, and widespread flooding left thousands stranded. Emergency responders were quickly overwhelmed by the extent of the destruction. As it moved toward the United States, Milton maintained its strength. The Florida coastline braced for impact, with evacuation orders issued for millions along the eastern shore. When the storm made landfall near Miami, it unleashed torrential rains, hurricane-force winds, and a massive storm surge that flooded coastal communities. Act 3. Damage and devastation. The aftermath of Hurricane Milton was catastrophic. In Florida, entire neighborhoods were submerged, with floodwaters reaching up to 6 feet in some areas. The storm surge devastated infrastructure, bridges were washed out, highways were blocked by debris, and thousands of homes were destroyed. Power outages lasted for days, and in some regions, even weeks, as emergency crews worked around the clock to restore essential services. Many families were displaced, and the economic impact on both the Caribbean and U.S. communities reached billions of dollars. Act 4. Emergency response and resilience. The response to Hurricane Milton was a monumental effort involving local authorities, federal agencies, and international aid organizations. The National Guard, Red Cross, and FEMA mobilized quickly, setting up shelters, distributing food and water, and providing medical assistance to those in need. Communities came together, with countless volunteers working tirelessly to help those affected. The resilience of residents was inspiring. People offered shelter to strangers, businesses donated resources, and local heroes emerged, rescuing others from dangerous floodwaters. Act 5. Environmental impact and long-term effects. Hurricane Milton also left a significant environmental impact. The storm surge contaminated freshwater sources, eroded coastlines, and disrupted local wildlife. Marine ecosystems were affected, and extensive flooding led to chemical runoff, impacting local agriculture and natural habitats. Long-term, rebuilding efforts are ongoing, but it will take years for many communities to fully recover. Efforts to rebuild more resilient infrastructure, improve flood defenses, and support affected wildlife are underway, underscoring the importance of environmental planning in hurricane-prone regions. Act 6. Lessons learned in future preparation. The story of Hurricane Milton serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of preparedness. Scientists warn that with climate change, hurricanes like Milton are likely to become even more frequent and intense. The lessons learned from Milton have sparked discussions on improving evacuation protocols, strengthening building codes, and investing in early warning systems. In the face of such natural forces, communities and governments are looking to technology and resilience planning to better prepare for future storms. Milton's story highlights the resilience of people in the face of adversity and the steps needed to protect lives and livelihoods as climate challenges grow. Hurricane Milton may be remembered for its intensity and the destruction it left behind, but it's also a story of resilience, compassion, and community. The storm showed us the worst of nature, but it also brought out the best in humanity. As we rebuild and reflect on the lessons of Hurricane Milton, we are reminded of the strength of the human spirit. Thank you for watching this in-depth look at Hurricane Milton. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about other significant events, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for updates on Cherry on Top.